All right, so in this video, I'll go over how to use Supabase to show custom markers on Google Maps. And so I actually have a marketplace item, I guess you could say, on the FlutterFlow marketplace. So it's free, of course. And yeah, so I guess the main unique things it has is you can load network and local set images. And so you'll have Supabase rows that you'll pass. So you can query this on the actual widget or have a marker, or you can query it on the actual widget or query it at a higher level. So like the page, yeah, and they or any top level widgets. But yeah, then you also have a marker action callback, and so you can use this to. So anytime you click on a marker, so let's say you click on this burger icon for Houston hot chicken. So when you click on that, it will return that row associated with that marker. And so that way you can save it like to page state or widget state and do with it as you need. Yeah. So, yep. And then, so I guess the first thing is, of course, it's for Supabase. So you'll need a Supabase account. Let's go. So I'll link this here, but use Supabase to show custom markers on Google Maps. Yeah. And so you'll just create a table. So first you need to set up Supabase, of course. So I have the documentation here. And yeah, so you just follow FlutterFlow's documentation on how to set it up. It's pretty straightforward. You just sign up and you pull these from the settings. It tells you right here, actually, API URL anonymous key in the settings integration section. Yeah, you just paste it in your settings on FlutterFlow. And then so in Supabase, after you've done that, you go to the table editor menu tab and create a new table, call it place, location, or whatever, And yep, I'll actually show you here in a minute. But yeah, and then you'll need these columns. And so actually, instead of lat and long LNG an icon name, I've renamed those to latitude, longitude, and image URL, I believe. And of course, you'll need title and description, but those will be the same. And yeah, just make sure the data types are the same, and you'll click save. And yep. And then if you don't have any data, you can insert it here. And then, yep. Oh yeah, also make sure to set a read policy on the place table. And I'll go through it here as well. I'll show you like on Supabase, so it's not like it's not complicated. Yeah. And yeah, so let's go to Supabase actually. So I have a place, and actually, so it's the image URL that we do need, longitude and title and description. You can change these, but you'll just have to change my code once you copy it to your app. So once you click add now and then you add it to your project, you'll just have to change that in the code. I'll show you how to do that as well. Yeah, anyways, you'll need description, title, image URL, longitude and latitude. This is everything else that they'll give you with like a place picker from FlutterFlow. I mean, it's from Google, but it's their widget, I guess they created. So these are the other values it gives you. That's an easy way to add locations as well. But yeah, once you create this, enter some data, you can go to authentication to set the policies. And so you have a place here, so new policy. And the first one you can do, you can get started quickly. And the first one, enable read access to everyone. So they have these templates you can use. So you can say use this template. I already have it, but I'll go through it. And then you click review and then you click save. It won't let me do it because of course I have it already. And then you also need to do one for enter, but it's the same exact thing. New policy, get started, enable enter access for authenticated users. And you can also add other checks as well. But yeah, what else? Yep, that's it. And then, yeah, I believe that's all. Am I missing anything? Yeah, that should be it. And then, of course, if you follow FlutterFlow's documentation, let's go back. So you go here, follow FlutterFlow's documentation. Actually, I'll click on it. You'll click. I thought they would have a screenshot, but anyways, after you add, maybe they do have it here. So, database, okay. So they walk you how to do all of this as well. Yeah, the videos show you how to set it up. So I did have screenshots. Basically, you go to the settings in FlutterFlow, and then yeah, you just add your anonymous key and API URL to FlutterFlow. Yep. So once you have this in a project, you can go to widget palette. Okay, and then components, and then you have Supabase map. And so you could drag this anywhere. I don't want to drag it. Yeah, I have a blank page. It's like a blank project. And so, yep, you just need to make a query. And so you can do it on initialization. So if you click on homepage, you can do it from action. So on page load. And if you do it like that, I'll just show you. Query rows, place. Do it like that, you can set an action output variable and you can reuse it across the page. But yeah, we don't need that for this example at least. Yep. And then so I just have, I'm just on the query tab and it's the same thing. Supabase query, place, list of rows. You can add your filters, your ordering. Yep. For this example, I'm just going to keep it simple. And yep. So yeah, once you add the query, I'll just remove it just to show you. This will say unset. And so you'll go to, it'll say places rows, and this is from homepage query. And you'll click Supabase rows. They have these other options, but for this example, we'll just stick with all of the items. Then always check these, allow zoom, show zoom controls. Yeah, I feel like you would always need those. And then you can set the default zoom. I set it at 11. And then, so here's the on-click marker. So I'm setting it to page state, I believe. In this example, let's see. So if we go here, you have to click at the top level widget on whatever page you're on. Yeah, anyways, let's just remove it. So you click add field. I'll do selected place. And it'll be a Supabase row. And it's just one item, so we won't do a list. And we'll choose the type of row that it will be. Confirm. And then so you have, I misspelled it. Yeah, selected place. Go back to the map. And I'll give you this action. You can also, there's also an action parameter. Yeah. So you click open, and I have it to update the page state. So let's actually delete that just to show you. Add action. State management, update page state, add field, selected place. Yep, and so selected place is the page state variable we just created. And we're gonna set it to the callback parameter. So place rows, the name I give it in the custom widget. So we'll set it to that. Yep, and also tell it to rebuild the current page. You can have it not rebuild. It depends on your use cases, but yeah. And also here you can see that it says callback, and this shows you, it just gives you a small details on what this action that you clicked on is. Yeah. Even also tells you how to access the callback. Yeah. And yep. And so you can run this now. When I first made this tutorial back like in November, you could not. It wouldn't show up on test mode or run mode. Now it does, but it doesn't render the images. And yep. Yeah. I'll just go to the code real quick just to show you. All right. So we're in the custom code, and I'll show you how to, let's say you rename the columns in Supabase. To change that, what it references, all it is, you just have to search in here for them. But so image URL, latitude, longitude. Yep. So you look for place question mark dot or place dot. That's the fastest way. And title, description. So you just change it depending on whatever you name the column. But yeah. And yep, you can even add another action for, so they have a tap on the info window, but I didn't do that because I don't see the point yet. But yeah, you could change what it returns, but I don't know. I couldn't really think of anything else that made the most sense. But yeah, let's see. Yep. And now I'll just download it and show you what it looks like. Or actually, there's one more thing. So you also want to create another page, like a blank page, and add like Flutter's actual map. So you just search map and drag and drop that here. And then also like any images that you'll use, because on the any custom thing, it won't add that to the project unless there's a page that's actually using that. And so this is called, let's see, I don't really use these. Okay, yeah, images.png. So if you remove it from this page, then you won't be able to use it. But you can use network images, so you don't have to add them here. But yeah, when you do add it to the database, if you're adding local images, you'll just add images.png. That's all you'll add. Yep. And the reason we're adding Google Maps is it won't add the keys unless it sees it on the page as well. So you don't have to connect the page or anything, but that's just so FlutterFlow sets up other things for you. But yep, yeah. All right. And so I always use Android Studio. I'm just used to that, but it also is more powerful, but it does use more like resources on your computer. But yeah, once you have Flutter and everything set up on your thing, on your computer, get dependencies. This is through IntelliJ or Android Studio. It's pretty similar, but you can use the FlutterFlow Mac app, and they'll also show you how to run it locally. And these are showing up now because I removed the project URL from Supabase and the Google Maps configuration, and that's why it's giving those issues. But yeah, actually, I can close this because we don't really need it. And yeah, I'll just run this real quick. Or actually, I need to run. I'll stop this and I'll bring up the emulator and I'll run this. That way you don't have to sit through that. But yeah. All right, so the app is loading right now, and we'll just see. And so I have this in Arizona. That's where I set the center. Oh, I don't believe I mentioned that, but anyways, there's parameters to set the center. And the easy way to find that is just to go on Google and search like Arizona, Tempe, Arizona. I don't know how to pronounce that. My bad if I don't say it right, but whatever city and state you're looking for, and then say center coordinates or latitude, longitude. But yeah, this is the Houston hot chicken, and this is high basil. These are the actual locations, but yep. And so you'll see both of those locations here. But title and description. Name, I don't remember. I believe I had it for something else before I used it for this example, but yeah. So yep, that's pretty much it. And yeah, when you do click it, it will set it to state and you can reuse it. I'll make another video doing something with that. Maybe saving it to a table or something. Yeah, I believe that's it. I guess one more thing I'll show you is, so I do have community showcase. I do have it for Firebase. I didn't put it on the same marketplace item, I guess you could say, because the thing is, just like it was just showing those errors on FlutterFlow, it will show the same errors if you're maybe only using Firebase or only using Supabase. That's why I didn't want to put one, or that's why I only put one on two different things. But they're pretty much the same code besides the parameters. And they pretty much work, yeah. And then I'll have another video for this, but they haven't improved this. It's been a couple of days, so I don't know if they're saying it's the same thing basically. But yeah, I'll link all of this. This is also on my Medium article is also on here, but I'll link this YouTube video on there as well, and then I'll also link all of these articles under this YouTube video description. So this is the article that's on there. Yeah, and also shows you how to do it from scratch. This was before it was approved. But yeah, that's it. Thanks.